Welcome in, everybody. Hello. We're gonna get started really soon. If you are new here and do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist, and I'm here to help you and support you in understanding exactly what is going on with not only with the food that we are eating and the products that we use, but also gaining the connection between the fact that we are not helping our body heal naturally, and we don't understand the process that our body should naturally be going through every single day, because we have been taught by society how to ignore signs of inflammation, ignore signs of our body panicking, and be in fight or flight mode every single day. And so since we have been in this fight or flight mode for years on end, our body is sitting here panicking. And a lot of women today are dealing with PCOS, they're dealing with endo, and we're not making the connection between the fact that there's a hidden connection between our health, our blood sugar, and how we are not taking care of these two things. And since we are not tackling the issue of insulin spikes and our blood sugar, then we are not supporting our body in healing naturally. So this leads us as women to having PCOS and endometriosis specifically. So ladies, let's have a real conversation for all the girls that are in the chat, because it's affecting millions of women. And we're not understanding the fact that, first of all, Western medicine and the pharmaceutical company has not done enough studies and tests for us as women. They're not supporting us as women. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate the roses. And so since we are not studied, we are not done tests and supported through these processes of balancing our hormones, understanding reproductive health for women, understanding how we need to support our body differently than men, and how we are two separate beings, so we should have two separate solutions. We are not understanding that we are barely talked about and barely represented in this space when it comes to health. And so we can't overall just categorize, oh, throw some birth control on it. Oh, do this because this study says that it works for men, so you should try it for balancing your hormones. We should have our own specific studies. They aren't doing enough studies, but they slap birth control in our face to balance our hormones. When hormone disruption is caused by the foods that you eat and the products that you use. So on top of the fact that you're not changing your food, you're not changing your products, you want to slap a prescription that throws off your hormone balance completely because it messes with your 30-day cycle. And so you sit here and you think, because you're on birth control, oh, I feel better, so my hormones must be balancing, or my period has stopped because I'm on this birth control, so it completely cuts it out. And then you keep doing this back and forth game, right? But then when you finally stop taking it, because maybe you want to have children, or maybe you finally stop taking it because you realize that it does throw off your hormones, and maybe you're not feeling the way that you did before, and you want to get back to that feeling of, that you have mental clarity, because a lot of people are not realizing birth control can make you angry. Not only the fact that, oh, you don't want to have kids, it messes with your hormones to the point where it makes you angry, it makes you depressed, it can make you fatigued. And so we're not realizing that in order for us to fix the issue, we have to first address the root cause of how we got here. But instead, we're finding momentary band-aids. We're sitting here believing that when a prescription is slapped in front of your face, this is my solution. And you never realize until you are down bad to the point where now they're telling you, oh, you need a surgery. Oh, you can't have kids anymore. Oh, this has happened, so now you have some kind of cancer. And now you're trying to wrap your brain around how in the world you develop cancer, how in the world you have breast cancer, how in the world you have infertility issues, and you can't have kids. So you're spending literal thousands of dollars trying to do in vitro and all these different solutions for you to have a child, and not realize that your healing when it comes to your womb, and your healing when it comes to your entire body, is to reset, to learn how to use food as your medicine, understand what toxic chemicals you have in your life that are endocrine disruptors, understand how foods throw off your hormonal balance, how these foods are blocking your healing, because your body is naturally supposed to be healing every single day. And so we're not being taught correctly how to support our body. And this is the reason why we're sitting here struggling with many young girls, women dealing with painful menstrual cycles, irregular cycles. They're dealing with weight gain and weight fluctuation and can't figure out why. Dealing with acne, bloating, infertility issues, dealing with IBS. And you're not putting two and two together, that it's not a separate incident. There are millions of women are dealing with the same issue. And we're trying to treat it the same kind of way, and it's not working. So if it's not working, why do we keep doing it? If you know that when you try to start your car and you press the start button and all of it does is click, do you keep pressing the start button? Or do you realize the battery is dead? When you press the start button and it goes click, 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 and you're like, oh, do you just keep trying to do that and just hope maybe one day it'll start? Or do you realize that, oh, it doesn't have what it needs, so it needs juice in the battery, so the battery needs to be supported? Well, I'm happy you were here, Amanda. Welcome in, welcome in. Because too many people are sitting here with that same clicking noise going off inside of their body, right? You're in fight or flight mode. Your body's not functioning the way that it should be. And you're hearing that clicking, yet you keep doing the same thing everybody else is doing. Just hoping that it starts. Just pressing the button, hoping that it starts. Flicking the key, hoping that it starts. It makes no sense to sit here and keep doing the same thing that's not working. You see the millions of women that are on birth control. You see all the women that are on birth control to manage and regulate their cycle. What does it cause? Either they're having a dominance of estrogen or a dominance of progesterone. Their hormones are thrown off. They're mentally unstable. So they're sitting here fatigued. They're sitting here depressed. They're sitting here anxious. They're having panic attacks. They're in and out of depression episodes. And then on top of that, they're angry. They're having PMS symptoms every single month. Your cycle is lasting 7 days and it's heavy throughout the 7 days. You're not putting two and two together. This is not healthy. If you are having blood clots, you are hemorrhaging. If your cycle is lasting more than 3 to 4 days, 5 days max, you are hemorrhaging. If your cycle is heavy and painful, you're hemorrhaging and you're also hormonally imbalanced. So this is an overload of inflammation. And people are not taught these things. We are not taught these things. Your doctor doesn't tell you this. Your doctor probably more likely than not doesn't even know this. They go through a program to teach you how to get a momentary band-aid, a momentary temporary solution. They don't teach you how to heal. They don't teach you solutions to heal your body because they don't teach them during their program how to heal people. They teach you how to be a lifetime customer. And then you take that and you eat it up because you believe you have to take birth control for the rest of your life. This is how you get rid of your fibroids and your cysts. You take birth control. This is how you get rid of this. You do a surgery. And then you sit here in 10 years and you wonder why all of a sudden you have fibroids or cysts again. You wonder why you have cancer now in your reproductive area. You wonder why you have breast cancer. Because your hormones have been speaking to you for years. Thank you for liking up the live. I really appreciate it. Herbal Relief. And then you sit here and you wonder. Thank you for the shares as well. It's because, and I guarantee you, because you are not learning exactly what is going on inside of your body and how to start healing. And I can guarantee you by the end of this live, you will get those answers of exactly what is going on and how you start finding a solution to heal. Because too many people, too many women specifically, are struggling when they shouldn't be. You're dealing with issues of you trying to get pregnant, you trying to have a child, and you shouldn't be having these issues. And you know why? Because there's an agenda against everybody's health, but specifically women in general, especially women of color. And we're not getting that through our heads that there's an agenda against our health. And how you should know that there's an agenda against your health is literally observing and looking at the world, especially in the U.S. If you were in the U.S., we know we're overweight, yet our portions keep getting bigger. We know that we're overweight, yet we all stay hungry and we overconsume. We know that we're unhealthy and disease is rising every single day, every single day, every single day. And yet we keep doing the same thing. We go to the same Western medicine doctors that everybody else goes to, and somehow we are getting worse when it comes to diseases. We're sitting here now promoting, Ozempic to lose weight and do all these different things. But what do they come and turn around and tell you every single time they start promoting a prescription or a medication heavily? Oh, this damages your kidneys. Oh, it causes liver failure. Oh, you're going to have IBS. Oh, your intestinal syndrome. You're going to have some type of intestinal problems. Oh, your gut's going to be thrown off. So why do y'all keep sitting here every single time they slap a new prescription that becomes popular in y'all's face? You keep sitting there and you're like, oh, let me take this because I want to lose weight. Your thought process is stuck in diet culture. And the problem with diet culture is that you never change your lifestyle. You never change your habits. You never change the ways that you are, the ways that you have, the habits. And that's the problem. Because you have to get away from diet culture and realize that your entire lifestyle has thrown your body off and put it in fight or flight mode. This is the reason why you were in fight or flight mode. So in order for you to heal your lifestyle, heal your body, support your body in releasing fight or flight mode so it can feel safe, it can feel comfortable, You have to understand that the first thing you need to do is get to the root cause, stop believing in diet culture, and change your habits when it comes to the foods that you use, the products that you use, and knowing how to understand how to read your labels, know what is a toxin, understand what's an endocrine disruptor. And if you don't know how to do these things, then you need to start learning how. This is a skill that I have, and this is a skill that is going to make me money later on in life, and currently right now that is making me money in 2030, when I'm telling you there's too many people out here that don't understand the shift that we are in, the shift that we currently are dealing with when it comes to our society's health, when it comes to our society not realizing there's an agenda against our health and the 2030 agenda in general. Because by 2030, there's going to be way too many people that have been dropped by their insurance companies, aren't being covered for surgeries, aren't being covered for prescriptions. And then you're going to be sitting here trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I get myself together now? And you're thinking like, well, I can't afford over $100 of insulin every single week. Or you're sitting here thinking like, I have to spend $2,000 on a surgery out of pocket. And then on top of that, maybe they won't give me a payment plan, or $10,000 for me to have a child, or $20,000 for me to be able to have a child. $20,000 because they're telling me I need to have a hysterectomy, even though you shouldn't be having a hysterectomy, but your brain is still wrapped around the thought that Western medicine is helping me. Western medicine will tell you to remove your womb before showing you how to heal it. Really sit back and think about that. Like, really sit back and think about that. Western medicine will tell you to remove your natural organs inside of your body, your reproductive system, your womb, how your body literally is on. It's on biological clock. It will tell you to remove it before they show you how to heal. So explain to me how they are here to support you and to help you. If you are stuck in the space of thinking that this is what you have to deal with every single time, I can guarantee you, you do not have to deal with this. Your body is a healing vessel. The Most High Himself gave your body the ability to heal itself. So how are you helping it heal? Or are you harming it? Because if you're blocked right now, you're feeling fatigued, you're feeling that mental fog, you're sitting here dealing with painful menstrual cycles, you're having PMS symptoms, you're on birth control, you're sitting there eating meat and you're eating dairy at all times of the year, all times of the month, and you don't know how to cycle sync, you don't know how to eat according to your cycle, you don't even understand what cycle syncing is, I can tell you, you are blocking your own body from its healing, and you're throwing off your system completely. So instead of you relying on a surgery or relying on a prescription, thinking that you have to have a hysterectomy, start to reflect and see what habits that you have that causes inflammation inside of your body and what endocrine disruptors are in your path. Because I can guarantee you that if you do not cleanse and detox on a regular, if you do not support your body and you are having an issue with weight gain or weight fluctuation or stubborn weight that you just cannot get rid of, your habits are the first thing that you need to reflect on. And this is not a situation where you sit here and you talk bad about yourself or you knock down what you've been through, what you've been taught, what you've been learning throughout your life. But rather, it's an assessment to start to change, to realize, okay, this is not working. And since it's not working, let me reevaluate to change. Just like your job, when your job gives you an evaluation every single 6 months or a year, 3 months, however long y'all do it, because I don't know, jobs are different. When your job gives you an evaluation, what is it for? To tell you what's working, to tell you if something's not working, to tell you if you've done a good job, tell you if you're not doing a good job. But all throughout the year, they're looking, they're evaluating, they're seeing your performance, they're giving you feedback. That final feedback is the same thing your body does when you get a disease or an illness and you've been diagnosed with something, when you have chronic inflammation. Your body has been giving you signs throughout this time period that you have not been evaluating. It's been observing. It's been going through the motions. It's been doing and trying to help you throughout. And you haven't changed anything. So when it finally develops a disease, that was your evaluation to let you know you have not done anything you were supposed to do throughout this year. That's exactly what that is. Every single month is your evaluation. Every single month you have a painful menstrual cycle, it's your body saying you have not been doing what you were supposed to do this month. You cannot operate like a man. I have been talking about this. I talked about it a couple lives ago, I'm pretty sure. You cannot operate like a man. When you operate like a man who is on a 24-hour cycle, you are going to be in pain. You are going to be struggling every single month. We go through a 30-day cycle, 31 depending on, when your cycle is, etc., etc. But the point is, we go through a 31-day cycle. Men go through 24 hours. You cannot operate like a man. A man is in here right now trying to mansplain something, and I would really love for the man in here trying to mansplain women's health to understand you're the problem. Like, understand you're the problem. As well as the fact that, because I love that you put a Bible verse in your bio. I really do love that for you. That's great. So what I would like to say is, since you are hopefully a God-fearing man, as a God-fearing man, knowing what the Most High has for women on this earth and to know how to operate as a woman versus a man, then you understand that our biological science is not the same. So we should not be doing what men are doing, and men should not be doing what women are doing. So in that case, what purpose do you have here? I'm gonna let you sit with that. Okay, let me see your question, Faith. I see you. Hold on a second. You said, your doctor's telling you that that's normal, that you have been on your cycle since last year? Like, you're telling me like no days have stopped. Like, every single day you were on your cycle, and it's been a whole entire year. That's what you're saying? Because we're in March now. So you're saying, said, I keep telling them I'm always in pain and I feel like I'm having a miscarriage every day. Richie, you typing in all caps is not helping me understand. Are you here to add, or are you here to knock down? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out here. There's too many trolls on this app, so I don't know if you're trying to help or trying to hurt. So either way, this isn't going to bother me. Thank you for liking up the live. I appreciate it. Welcome in all the women in here. So as I wait for Faith to send that message, that final message, so I can understand, thank you for the follow. We're going to continue the script, and I'll come back to it. I answer questions at the end, y'all. Any questions that you have, but as we go along, I will check in with you. I'm not ignoring comments or anything. But PCOS and endometriosis have become normal. And they're so normal that we think that all the things that show and pinpoint signs of you having PCOS or you having endometriosis are just something that you have to go through as a woman, or something that you should go through every single day. For example, how Faith just said that her doctor told her it's normal to be on her cycle for a year. Make that make sense. If we know that as women we go through a 30-day cycle, we go through our actual cycle, which is the time of you bleeding, and then we have different phases of each cycle. How in the world would it be normal for you to be in the same cycle when you are supposed to, just like the seasons of the earth, you're supposed to have your seasons of the month as well? So this is why I say that women cannot operate like men. And if you do not know how to operate this way as a woman, you're not going to be eating correctly. You're not going to be using the time to rest when you're supposed to rest, using the most energetic times to plan out your life, to help you be able to plan out your life, to use that energy to work out, etc., etc. When you are sitting here operating just like how studies are based on men, and you're operating like a man because this is what you've been taught, this is what society literally sits here and programs itself around, you are not going to be functioning the way that you should be and that you could be. And so this is going to lead you to having all these symptoms: fatigue, you having a menstrual cycle that either is irregular or it's on all the time. You having a cycle of you having hormonal issues. So then now your gut is thrown off. Now your brain is thrown off. This is fueling a bigger issue inside of you when you sit here and you deal with PCOS and endometriosis symptoms as, okay, this is just something that I have to go through in my life, because this is fueling you to have insulin resistance. And then it's also showing you that you have chronic inflammation, because too many people are not realizing that these are key factors that go hand in hand. We know that when you are overweight and you're not taking care of yourself, you're not active, you're not eating correctly, you develop diabetes, right? We know this. You eat too much sugar, you eat too much junk, you don't exercise, you get diabetes. But we don't realize that PCOS, when you get that bloating, when you're getting that fatigue, you're getting that weight gain, and you're sitting here trying to figure out what in the world for you to do, and then you don't change anything, but you're just sitting here complaining all the time about how you're suffering, and then you sit here and you wonder why you develop diabetes. It's because you've been in an insulin resistant state, because your insulin is tied to your hormones. So when your hormone balance is off, your insulin balance is going to be off as well. So this is going to cause you to have those different issues that are the same as diabetes. So now you're pre-diabetic along with your endometriosis or your PCOS. Managing it with birth control, metformin, Ozempic, you taking painkillers because you think that, oh, I'm going to go take this Tylenol, this Aleve, this Advil, it's going to help me be able to get through this moment, is misleading you, and it's going to keep misleading you because you're sitting here managing a disease when you need to learn how to heal it. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I'm here to share the information that I have. There is no reason, especially from woman to woman, there is no reason for me to have healed my body, to help my body heal, and to be sitting here harboring information that can help others, millions literally, help themselves heal. Especially when I give you all this free content for you to get started. If you are looking for a solution and a step-by-step strategy, you can come work with me. That is something that I do with women that are looking for a change, that are looking for a strategy, that maybe don't have enough time to do research or have a job that they know that is taxing and tolling, and they know that they just need something that literally can sit down and have it in front of them and have it mapped out the way that I do. Because I want to simplify the process, and I help you get started with all the free content. But when you are looking for a tailored strategy specifically for you, I do that, and it's linked in my bio. You can book a one-on-one. I'm going to look at the comments and make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, well, Richie said he is blind in one eye, and he said, I will mansplain, which he said at first, I will man's point to you. I write in all caps because I'm blind in one eye. And then he corrected himself and said, I guess he was trying to say, I will mansplain to you. I will write in caps because I am blind with one eye. Well, honey, the reason why you're blind in one eye is because, honey, you don't need to see. You obviously don't need to see. If you're sitting here trying to mansplain to a group of women about endometriosis and PCOS, you obviously don't need to see or hear. You need to go on and find something else. You know what you need to hear? The ones that can hear, hear. You need to go read the Bible with that one eye. That's what you need to do. You need to caps, all caps, go to your Bible and then mansplain to God. That's what you can do, because that's the point. Like, the whole point is I'm not speaking just from, oh, okay, this is just me sitting here trying to get some money and speak some random stuff off the top of my head. This is literal scripture, science, and putting it in an educational space to make the connection. So like I said, you have a Bible verse in your bio. So explain to me how you're going to knock down scripture and science. Sound a little backwards to me. Anywho, oh, no problem, no problem. It's the frontal lobe is developed. The patience is here. I worked with kids for 5 years. You have to develop patience very quickly. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, I'm feeling me and my little natural hair today. Okay, what were we talking about? We were talking about insulin resistance. Yep, we were talking about insulin resistance. Okay. So, stay with me, because this is how I'm going to show you how you can help start changing your health and your life forever, okay? As a woman, we should be operating according to our cycle. This is what I've said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. And so the silent epidemic that women are going through is because we are not understanding how, as a whole, we are connected. So just because you don't like your menstrual cycle, because you hate that time, because it's painful, you're uncomfortable, etc., right? It should be to the point where when you, even if you don't enjoy that time necessarily, you should be able to go through that time without hating it, if that makes sense. Because I was in the space of hating it. And so I know where you're coming from when you're like, I hate that time. I don't want to do it. Like, I really hate it. I even made a joke when I was younger. It was like, just take it out. I don't even want kids. Like, that kind of mentality has led us to not realizing that the reason why we're struggling so much as an overall millions of women are dealing with PCOS and endometriosis, and it's on the rise, is because we are not supporting our womb with our month to month. So you go month to month not eating the right foods, using bleach, using Lysol, spraying perfume all over your sensitive parts, all of your, what are these called? What are these called? I forget every single time. What is this called? What are they called? Not pressure points. What are they called? I can't think of what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. All of your parts, your lymph nodes. You're spraying out all over your lymph nodes, your glands. I can't think of what the word is that I'm thinking of, but your lymph nodes. It's a word that I'm thinking of. You're spraying it on your literal veins that go through your blood system. Your skin absorbs anything within 24 seconds to come in contact with it. And a lot of people are not realizing that the reason why your smell goods are called perfume, it's not because that's the name of, oh, it's a fragrance, it's a perfume. It's not because it's a cute name that we have made it cute now, right? The reason why it's called fragrance, perfume, is because it's a literal mix of hundreds to thousands of chemicals to make a scent that is now labeled as a fragrance or a perfume. Because legally, the government says all you have to do is label it as a fragrance or a perfume, and they should know, even though they don't, they should know that is a mixture of chemicals. Because it's made from a natural source. When you look at actual natural perfumes that they have on the market that are actually made and derived from a natural source, they won't label, oh, this is perfume, oh, this is fragrance. They're going to list out exactly what they use as the essential oil. They're going to list out exactly what they use as a base, as a binder, etc. But when you go to your Bath and Body Works, when you go to Walmart, when you buy all these smell goods, when you buy your candles at TJ Maxx and you don't read anything about it, they're putting in perfume and fragrance, and that's all they have to label it as, because it's not government mandated for them to sit here and tell you, oh, this is full of toxic ingredients. It's a bunch of chemicals. So they can label it as something, just like when they look at your hair products, because I love looking at hair products. That is my favorite thing. I make my own hair products. But every time I go to the hair store, I love looking at hair products because I look at the hair products just to see how much crap I used to put on my hair. Okay. I think right before I went plant-based, I cut all my hair off, right? I wanted a fresh start. It was completely stringy. I just hated how my hair looked. I love how my hair looks now because my hair not only is healthy, but it's all even, because your hair and your hair is directly tied to your health. So if your hair is looking a mess, your health is probably a mess as well. And that's not just, oh, I'm having a bad hair day. I'm talking about like it's stringy, you're having all these split ends, it's thin, you're losing hair. This should be a sign. It should really key you in, okay? So when you were sitting here looking, you should be looking at your hair care products, by the way. If you have not gone ahead and look at them, look at the ingredients in your hair care products, because I love going to the hair store. I flip it around. When you look at it, I looked at one my mother had in the bathroom. I loved to look at that and just be like, oh, you're putting that on your scalp? Great. I looked at one. The first thing was a chemical disruptor. I can't remember exactly which one it was. And the second thing was perfume. The third thing was some type of oil. Great. The third thing in it, though. And if you don't know how to read your labels, this is a little key. This is a little tidbit that I teach people in my $11 ebook. It's literally $11 of a toxic, purge the poison, toxic ingredients. It's an ebook that shows you exactly how to get rid of all these toxic products in your life, reading your labels, etc. Okay? When it's listed from beginning to end, the beginning is the most quantity. So if the first thing is oil, the main base of everything in there is oil. This is the reason why y'all get y'all's edge controls and you wonder why it doesn't stay down. And you shouldn't be getting all these terrible toxic edge controls anyway, but this is a key. If you were still using them and you're looking for them, the reason why you're having that edge control that doesn't lay down, the main key components is your oils, right? So when you're looking at the beginning and the first thing is an oil, that means it's mainly oil-based. If the first thing is water, that means it's mainly water-based. And then everything after is, okay, this is the second most prominent ingredient. So the second most prominent ingredient in that hair care product that I was looking at was fragrance. I think second to last or third to last thing that was on there was BHT. If you don't know what BHT is a cancer-causing chemical. It's a harmful chemical. It's a carcinogen. They put it in things like Chex Mix, your processed foods that stay and they last long. I don't know if they're in Nutri-Grain bars, but they're in a couple other different snacks. It's not good for you. It's in cereal. And they put it in your hair care products as well as in your food. And your hair is directly connected to your brain because it's your scalp. So this is what I mean by we are not aware enough as women with the products that we use. Even me putting eyelashes on, I'm still weary. I don't do it all the time. I'm not saying I only do it for occasion, because I don't. Like, I take care of myself. I make sure I purge toxic poisons. Goodness, I couldn't get it out. I make sure I don't release all these chemicals in my life. And when I do put these chemicals in contact with my body, I release them. I support myself. Too many people are not realizing, and I was looking into this yesterday. There are key signs to let you know when you have an overload of toxins, especially heavy metals and etc. Look at your face. If you were looking at your face and you see that one side of your face seems like it's bigger than the other, one side of your face seems more indented, you're seeing one line is more prominent, you're seeing one eye is droopier than the other, and I'm not talking because I have a natural, I don't know which eye it is, I can't even, so let me not even point it out. One of my eyes are smaller than the other. There's a difference between a droop and one of your eyes being smaller than the other. When you have a droop in your eyes, you have a droop in your brow. This is a key sign, regardless of what age you are, that you have an overload of heavy metals and toxins. So when you were sitting there observing even an older person and how they sit there and they love to say, well, I'm getting old, things are going to droop. Look at how proportionate their face is, because you're not going to lose proportions, because if you're getting older and things are drooping, they're going to droop at the same rates. But when you have one eye that's drooping lower than the other and the other one is perfectly fine, you need to start looking at it, because obviously we know the signs of a stroke, but we aren't taught the signs of heavy metal overload. And heavy metals pass your blood-brain barrier. So that was a long tangent just to get on the fact to let you know and understand and get back to the topic of this is the reason why our epidemic is on a rise when it comes to PCOS and endometriosis, really inflammation overall in general with all these issues of diseases, because we don't know how to spot the signs of we're not taking care of our body, and we aren't taught the signs of this is how you start to help that heal. This is how you release the block. You're in fight or flight mode. You need to release. You need to cleanse. We aren't taught these things. Let me check the comments, guys. Let me see what y'all are saying. I said, oh, that makes sense. I'm glad that it makes sense. I'm glad that like, I'm here to make the connection, so I am here. And if it does not make sense, please speak up in the comments and let me know if it didn't make sense. If you need me to reiterate, if you need more questions into it. So hormones, no lotions or fragrances, candles in my home. You can have candles. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you have candles. I have not found a single lotion that doesn't have toxins, but I haven't looked either. I use oils, but you can use fragrance. I mean, you can use candles that don't have fragrance. There are plenty of candles. That's why I said, like, you just have to look. Like TJ Maxx has coconut oil based candles. They're great. They smell amazing and they don't have toxic chemicals. You said, what do you use? I'm assuming were you talking about hair care products? I'm assuming if you were talking about hair care products, I make my own. That's the reason why I said I love going to the hair store and looking at the products, because usually I'm looking to like see what do I need to add in, because lately I was sitting there thinking like my shampoo is a little too drying, and I did have a pomade type deep conditioner that I was using, right? And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to use something different. I'm going to try to make my own versus me buying it, because I think it's like $12, $14 and it lasted me quite a while. But I think they changed a couple of ingredients, and one of them is alcohol, and I feel like they might have put a fragrance in there. I'm not for sure, but something changed and it made me go, you know what? If I can make it, I'll try. If I can't make it, I'll use this until I find something, because I don't want my hair to start breaking off. Well, I didn't end up buying it last time I washed my hair. I ended up doing a protective style, and now, you know, fast forward, here we are. So now sitting here like, yeah, it's time for me to find something. And so I just started doing this new thing, and 10 out of 10 recommend. My hair is not only like super moisturized, ignore my little, I was born with gray hair, y'all, so don't think like, oh, she's old or she's stressed out. I was born with these. They're in my baby pictures. My hair is healthy. Like, I cut off all my hair, and this isn't even like full length of how long my hair is. This is just my little puffs that I have semi-combed out. Okay, so my hair is super healthy. It's moisturized. It's soft, right? You said you sell them. I do not sell them. No. I do have workshops. I host workshops that help you be able to make your own non-toxic products. If you are in my program, you get all of this. In my program, I teach you how to make your own non-toxic products, how to eat plant-based, your own plant-based recipes, craft out a strategy for you for your grocery list, pantry audit, refrigerator audit to find all your replacements, as well as we make natural medicine in that program. And we do sustainability. So during the end of that process, it's 12 weeks total. So the end of those 12 weeks, at the towards the end, we do different sustainability things to help you be able to stay in the lifestyle, make you feel more comfortable than what you are. I mean, like, throughout the process, you should be getting comfortable with the lifestyle, but that ending is to make sure that you are confident enough to be like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't need this anymore. I'm living a full plant-based lifestyle. I'm making full plant-based meals. I know how to make my own products. Like, it's to make sure that you're straight, because that first beginning, we learn how to do food, because food is medicine. We should understand how to use food as medicine. Then we work on non-toxic products, because you have to get rid of that to start healing. And then towards the end, that's when we do our own medicine and all that etc. stuff of like herbs and teas and things like that, and we start learning about those things. So, and also making herbal infusions for oils, etc., because I make my own herbal infusions for oils. Coconut oil by itself, I'm gonna let you know now, if you were like, oh, I just use coconut oil, if you are just now starting to use coconut oil, I started, I think 5 years ago, I want to say, of only using coconut oil, no lotion. I've been plant-based for a little over 4 years. It's not going to cut it. I'm going to let you know that now. You're going to get exposed to something that is going to completely dry your skin out, and it's not going to help you rejuvenate it. The coconut oil is great as a base, but it's not good by itself, because it's not going to get everything that you need for you, because it's so readily absorbed, if that makes sense. And not enough people realize that. That's the reason why when you put coconut oil on and you look super, super glossy, you can come back in 10 minutes and you're fully like, now it's absorbed. It's because it's readily absorbed. And so since it's so quickly absorbed, if you have an issue of irritation on the skin on its surface, it's not going to penetrate deep enough. It's going to get absorbed before it can penetrate deep enough. And so that's the kind of things that I teach you during that program, is to understand like the different ways of that trial and error. You get rid of that trial and error, and I show you exactly how you live the lifestyle and do it comfortably, if that makes sense. You said, can you talk about things to eat? We're going to get to solutions. I went on a tangent, like I said, but this is part of it, because we have to understand that, like, we have been fully taught how to poison ourselves, but we have not been taught any increment of how to heal. And so we have to learn how to start healing. But first we have to understand what is going on, how we've been misled, right? So let's talk about PCOS. If people are in here dealing with PCOS, you should know some good facts. You should be, oh, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes, guys. I really appreciate you for checking in. Herbal Relief, I appreciate all your comments. I hope you have a great day. Out of every 10 women, PCOS is affecting 10 women that are in their childbearing age, is affecting at least one of them. And so often women that are as young, young itty bitty women, because I'm gonna say the little itty bitty women because they're still children technically, but we're speaking in the space of people who have their menstrual cycles between the ages of 11 or 12. They're still already showing signs and symptoms of PCOS. They're dealing with acne. They're dealing with the excessive hair growth on their face, on their chest, on their back. They're dealing with dark skin patches. They're dealing with irregular menstrual cycles if they're having them, missed cycles. They're also dealing with weight gain and weight fluctuation. They're dealing with the issue of excess belly gain, right? I had that when I first went through my menstrual cycle as a young child, because I have a literal picture proof of me on the refrigerator. My mom loves that picture and I hate it. That was, I think, the first or second, first year maybe of me having my menstrual cycle, maybe second possibly. I was huge. It went from okay, I'm a bigger kid, but I'm active, all right, to girl, literally just looking like girl. Belly was huge. And now that I look back and I know what the signs are, as a child, I hated that picture. I hated it, everything about it, because not even just the fact that I was big, but I was in my school uniform and I didn't like how I looked, etc. The little minor things. But now that I'm an adult and I look back and I'm just like, wow, my little body was screaming out for help for years. But now that I'm an adult and I look back and I'm just like, wow, my little body was screaming out for help for years. And hold on, y'all. And still to this day, not enough women, not enough children, not enough the women of color, people in general are being brought to the problem, are brought to brought to their attention that this is a problem. I'm trying to figure out with this new stand that I have if I can plug my charger in. Hold on, y'all, before I mess something up. Hold on. Let me plug my charger in so my phone doesn't die. It's a little warm because I can't turn it this way. Okay, let me see if it'll fit this way. If y'all go flying in a second, I'm sorry. I'm bad at this. Okay, we might be a little sideways, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, we might be a little sideways, but I'm okay with being a little sideways. If y'all okay with being a little sideways, I'll be a little sideways. It's fine. As long as my phone is charging. All right. So, PCOS is not just about like, oh, cysts and cysts on your ovaries. It's about the fact that it's a metabolic disorder. And not enough people are talking about that because we love to talk about, cysts and fibroids, and we talk about those. But we don't talk about the fact that this is closely tied to insulin resistance and inflammation. That's why it's a metabolic disorder. And so when you don't address that issue, it's going to become worse over time. When you have insulin resistance and you don't address the problem of your insulin being balanced, you develop diabetes, right? When you have an overload of inflammation, this feeds diseases, illnesses, it gives you cancer. And so we don't understand the fact that we are not addressing this. So as time goes on, your PCOS gets worse. You develop diabetes. You now sit here and have a cyst overgrowth on your ovaries. It's literally making your stomach bloated like a pregnant woman. And then we sit back and we look at it and we're like, I don't know how I've been so, thrown off. And you're sitting here thinking like, let me do a diet because I'm just too big, I'm overweight. And you're not realizing it's not necessarily that you're overweight, but it's the fact that your body has been sitting here in an inflamed state for so long. All it's doing is storing toxins. It's storing all these different issues, and it's holding on to all of the crap that you eat. It's holding on all to these toxins that you come in contact with day to day, because you know what? Your liver, your kidney, your pancreas, they're working overtime trying to filter different things and it can't. Endometriosis affects about 10% of the women globally. And so this is endometriosis is causing severe pain. It's going to cause bloating, nausea, vomiting. It causes IBS-like symptoms and can lead you to having IBS. It causes different types of pain overall in general going throughout your month, as well as the fact that it causes infertility issues. So when you look at endometriosis, this is a hormone-driven inflammatory disease. What does that mean? That means your hormone balance is off. So this means that you're having an overload of estrogen and your body has been disrupted. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. And many women are not realizing the fact that when they're having this overload of estrogen, it is going to link you to having insulin resistance as well. Because like I said, these hormones are directly correlated and connected. But when you have an overload of estrogen inside of your body, this blocks your lymphatic system. So this causes different issues like tumors. So breast cancer, thyroid cancer. We have to start changing our habits and our ways, because yes, we don't realize our habits are causing these, but we are leading ourselves to our own grave by doing the same thing and expecting different results. Seeing that what's causing in our society is the issues of food, activity, the products that we use, seeing and observing the world dealing with the same issue and not changing anything, but doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Taking your prescription, trying to manage. Taking some type of supplement, thinking this is going to help me, even though you don't give your body any nutrients. So why in the world is a B12 vitamin supplement going to help you if you can't even eat correctly? Like, it just makes no sense to keep doing the same thing when you are literally fueling high blood pressure, chronic inflammation, and then making a perfect storm for disease to thrive and live in your space. Because that's what happens when you are managing with these temporary band-aids. You are sitting here putting together a perfect environment for all of these issues to thrive in. So when you make the connection between insulin resistance, when you make the connection between how your blood sugar and imbalances is going to fuel diseases, This is going to get you to the point of realizing that insulin resistance is when your body stops responding to insulin. And so now it's sitting here keeping sugar in your bloodstream because it's not being converted into anything like energy. It's not being used. And so then it's going to lead you to having high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels, It's going to make you pre-diabetic or diabetic. It's going to cause that weight gain. It's going to cause chronic inflammation. It's going to cause pain and hormonal imbalances. And then makes your PCOS and your endometriosis worse. So it's a full connection of you're not taking care of your body in this space, and you're also not taking care of your body in this space. You're also adding in all these toxins. And so it's a full literal cycle, a pyramid of toxin, toxin, toxin. And then in the middle is you, and you're just absorbing. Most of your care providers, I'm going to say all, I'm not going to say all, because maybe you have one that really just talks to you and keeps it straight and keeps it real and then knows what's up. Most of them can't connect the dots, and they won't connect the dots for you. They prescribe you birth control, or they prescribe you Ozempic or metformin or painkillers. They tell you that you need to take 2 Advils and Aleve, or how my doctor was telling me when I was dealing with my overload of estrogen. Before you start your menstrual cycle, how you help yourself not go through so much pain during that time is you start 3 to 4 days before your menstrual cycle, and you just take an Advil or an Aleve every single day up to that day. And then once you start the first day, you take 2 or 3. That's what I was told. And so this is what I was following during that time. And so then during that time, when I was like, oh, I'm still having pain a little bit, I was like, oh, I just must have not taken it enough. I just didn't take it early enough. And I'm doing all this thing. And then when that didn't work, I was like begging her to put me on birth control. She tells me birth control, I don't know. I don't really want to put you on birth control. I'm begging her, telling her, this is how I balance my hormones. I took birth control for a year. Completely threw me off. I was angry. I was angry, depressed, having panic attacks, sitting there dealing with anxiety that came out of nowhere. I'm angry out of nowhere. I'm waking up angry. I'm going to work angry. I'm angry at all these random people. When I'm telling you, and I'm not an angry person, so I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, I think 1 week I had forgotten to take it, and so I had 3 days for my body to be like, oh, girl, let me tell you what's been going on. I had forgotten for 3 days. 3 days turned into 5. 5 turned into 8. And then I was sitting there and I was thinking, and I was like, I haven't taken my birth control. And then as I'm sitting there thinking and going around thinking my body hasn't felt weird. It hasn't done anything. And then I'm clicking 2 and 2 together. I haven't been angry. I haven't really been depressed. I've been kind of happy, pretty happy. And I'm sitting there thinking about all of the hormones that have finally started to get back to their normal rhythm. And I was like, oh my God, literally I just sat there and was like, oh my God, I had that realization. I had been throwing off my body more than what it was in natural state. And I had tried 2 birth controls during the time. The first one had completely thrown me off, made me so bloated and so congested and so backed up. I had to go to the doctor immediately. And I was talking to her, and she was like, you're so backed up with crap. I had to have an ultrasound. She was like, you were so backed up with crap. It was ridiculous. I didn't even really put 2 and 2 together how long I had been without going to the bathroom. And I'm not a person that has any issues with going to the bathroom. So that's just a telltale sign to let you know I should have known. But instead of me knowing, I kept thinking, well, it's just not the right one. Let me try again. After a year of being on birth control, I will never do it again, nor will I tell any woman in my life anything differently, besides the fact that you should not go on that. If I have a daughter, I will literally ban that from our household. You can't even think about doing that to yourself, because it's no reason to add in all of these hormones for you to balance your hormones. It makes no sense. It's the same thing. And y'all have to get this wrapped around in your brain, that you think that you need to take a B12 supplement, you need to take a vitamin A, a vitamin C, a vitamin D, and you're not eating these things. You cannot absorb fake iron. You cannot absorb fake magnesium, excuse me, y'all. You cannot absorb fake magnesium. You can't absorb any of these things that are not naturally occurring and happening inside of your body. So when you're sitting here and you're consuming all of this random stuff because it's prescribed to you, because you need it added in your life, think about what you're not giving yourself in your day-to-day. That's what the first thing you need to think about before you supplement anything. You take these supplements, you stop buying them, first of all, because what you should be doing is spending that money towards food that actually gives you nutrients, actually supports the body. And so you're not even realizing, I'm going to break this down because we talked about your liver, your pancreas, your kidney, and your gut, but I want to break down and understand what is happening. Michelle, I will address that in a minute if you are still in here. If you're, because I can address that because I'm going to tell you now. I just made a video on this actually. I had a live, I was talking about it. I was borderline iron deficient because I wasn't officially diagnosed, but we were watching my iron for 3 years before I went plant-based, I want to say. I was also borderline anemic as well, and I'm plant-based and I have none of those issues anymore. So that's why I said, like, we have to focus on eating the things that we need. And so I'll talk about that in a minute once I get done with what topic I'm on right now, because it probably will tie in. It will tie in and probably like one more section. So let me go over liver, pancreas, kidneys, and gut, and then we'll talk about it. She said I'm hanging out. Okay. So your liver, when you have an excess overload of insulin, sugar overload, your liver is going to be going down a path of having fatty liver disease because you have thrown your liver off. It's working overtime, sitting here trying to compensate all the fake sugar that cannot be converted into energy, all this toxic sugar, processed sugar, all this heavily processed sugar like your white sugar, your brown sugar. And you're sitting here thinking like, well, this is okay because it's in a snack and it's low calorie, but you're not looking at the sugar and you're not looking at the fact that this toxic processed sugar cannot be used. So then your liver has to work overtime to compensate the sugar that should be converted into energy. It can't do that. And so then now you have a hormone dysfunction. Your pancreas is sitting here, since you're having this insulin spike and your liver is trying to work overtime. Now your insulin spikes and burns out your pancreas because your pancreas is there for you to be able to be supported during this process, as well as help your body convert that into energy, but it can't. And so then now you're having all these energy crashes. You have no energy when you wake up. You feel fatigued. And then you're leading yourself to having diabetes, right? The kidneys. So when you're sitting here and you're not supporting your liver, your pancreas, and then now you're looking at your kidneys, and your kidneys are like, well, I can't filter your blood because that's a filter for your blood, right? So your kidneys are sitting here like, you're insulin resistant. You're insulin resistant. Like I said, your blood is literally coated with sugar, because that's what happens when you have an overload of sugar. It coats everything inside of your body. It coats your brain. It coats your eyes. It coats your organs. It coats your your arteries. It coats everything. Your blood. This is the reason why when people have diabetes and they're sitting there thinking like, oh, it's just hard for you to heal when you have diabetes, so you have to watch, even a little cut can become something, and you can lose an arm, you can lose a leg, you can lose your eyesight, you can lose your hearing. It's not because there's something wrong with your blood necessarily itself. It's because the sugar has coated all of your blood to the point of tampering it, and now it's no longer the blood that we produce naturally. The blood that you produce gets coated. Everything in your body gets coated. So this is the reason why you can't see. This is the reason why you can't hear. This is the reason why you lose limbs, because things get blocked. Your eyesight is blocked. Your hearing is blocked. Your leg is blocked from all of your vital organs, your veins going back and forth, bringing blood through. It's getting clotted. That's what blood clots are. When you have an overload of sugar, when you're having diabetes, that's what these clots are. It's because everything is coating and sticking together. Think about how sticky sugar gets. It's sticking. And so when you are sitting here in this space of damaging your kidneys the way that you have been, this increases your risk of having kidney disease, having inflammation. The blood isn't flowing. Nothing is flowing. Nothing can flow. Everything is sticking to each other. Nothing is flowing. This is how you really pinpoint there's a block. That's why I said that, like, y'all are not getting the concept. There's a block. Like, I'm going to keep saying that word because it's a block. You are either healing or you're blocked. You are blocked. And so then, in return, all of this is happening, and all while this is happening, your digestive tract is thrown off because your gut is not where it needs to be. Your pH in your gut is destroyed. And so then all your good bacteria in your body, in your gut, that's supposed to be digesting and supporting your digestive tract and helping you be able to go to the bathroom, it's not helping. So then now you're worsening your inflammation because everything is stuck inside of there because your pH balance is too low. The acidity is not there for it to break down food. So now food is just sitting there. And if you eat meat, it's sitting there with the parasites, as well as the fact that it's decayed, rotting meat sitting there in your gut, just decaying and rotting, not moving along, sitting in your digestive tract, sitting in your intestines, not moving along, causing hormonal disruption, letting parasites thrive in the space, because parasites come from a number of different things, and meat is a number one thing that parasites love and feed on and thrive in, and it loves an inflammatory state. So now you are feeding it with food and you're feeding it with your inflammation. So you have to learn how to start helping your body heal, and heal without medications, heal without birth control. Know what your body wants and understand what your body wants, but you have to get to the space of listening to your body first. Your body wants for you to give it the right environment to heal. Thank you for the follow. Your body wants for you to start consuming the right things, using the right products. And it's telling you this through your cravings. Because so many of y'all are thinking that you're craving sugar, right? You're thinking that you're craving chocolate or you're craving candy because this is your favorite snack. But I'm going to tell you now, just because you're craving the actual item of sugar does not mean the fact that you're actually craving that sugar. You're craving that item because you're addicted to that item, but you're not actually craving sugar. And how I can tell you this is because, hold on, it's asking me to verify myself. Hold up a second. Okay. So they do a number of studies when they come out with a new product, when the company pushes a product, when it comes on a shelf and it's a popular brand. And you know why? Because they do case studies to make sure that their products are addictive. They add a combination of unhealthy fats, sugars, and sodium inside of the food that throws off your chemical balance because it stimulates your dopamine to tell you, hey, turn off that receptor to say that you're hungry, that you're starving, but keep telling you that you're hungry. Turn off the receptor to say that you're full, but keep thinking that you're starving. Hey, turn off the receptor to let you know that's too much sugar. They turn off the receptors in your brain. So then this is the reason why you have those cravings every single month around your cycle time, because your hormones are going like this. Your hormones already go like this on a regular. And then you add in your menstrual cycle. So now your hormones are tornadoing everywhere. And so this is the reason why you're sitting there like, oh, I'm just really craving sugar and chocolate right now. I know I shouldn't have it, but it's my menstrual. It's not because you're actually craving that. It's because you're lacking what you need. Thank you for the heart puffs. I really appreciate it. You're lacking what you need. And this is the issue. You're lacking nutrients. You're eating a very, very low nutritional, if it's even giving you any nutrition in the food that you're eating. You eat no fruits, you eat no vegetables throughout the month. You don't even eat according to your cycle as a woman. And then we sit back and we wonder why in the world I am B12 deficient, I'm iron deficient, I'm anemic, I'm sitting here dealing with PCOS, fibroid cysts. It's because your body has not been given what it needs. Your body is craving real whole foods. Your body is craving support through what you're putting on your plate. Stop eating foods that keep you sick. Stop eating foods that poison you. Processed foods, dairy, refined sugar, inflammatory oils, all this meat that y'all are consuming is causing insulin resistance. It's causing inflammation. It's causing and fueling hormone imbalances. And you're not putting two and two together that endocrine disruptors are not just in products and in your environment, but it's also in foods as well. It's also in your foods. So you have to start nourishing your body to start helping your body start to heal, start to fuel. Because when you are giving nourishment, your digestive tract is going to be okay. Your gut balance is going to be where it needs to be because your pH, the good bacteria, is going to be where it needs to be. This is going to stop throwing off your brain. So now your brain is balanced again. So that means your hormones are going to be balancing again. That means your systems are going to start functioning the way they should be. When you eat whole foods, you eat fiber-filled foods, and you stop sitting here over-consuming toxic processed sugars, but actually focus on stabilizing your blood sugar with the foods that you eat, that doesn't mean you have to stop eating all sugar, because that's what people think. I can't eat fruits. I can't eat this. I can't have honey. The problem is you have no stabilizers. It's not actual sweetener. It's the fact that you eat the terrible toxic processed sugars and then you have no stabilizers. So now you're not even helping manage the issue that you've caused, but instead you're further fueling inflammation. And so when you give yourself stabilizers with natural sugar, you don't have a blood sugar spike. Use anti-inflammatory foods that are going to help you lessen your pain during the time that you are trying to transition and help yourself go to a plant-based lifestyle and to support your body, and also support your hormone balance with anti-inflammatory foods. You need to support your gut. You need to be supporting your liver. You need to be supporting your pancreas, because these are all going to help you be able to regulate your hormones naturally. How you start to help your body. For the person that was asking me, well, what kind of foods do I eat? Stabilizers. And if you don't know what stabilizers are, you need to get my Eating Away Diabetes cookbook. Just because it says Eating Away Diabetes does not mean, oh, I have to have diabetes to get this book. It's showing you and breaking down how you support your body in getting rid of insulin resistance and breaking down insulin resistance and what's happening, as well as your A1C. It's breaking down diet culture. It's giving you the breakdown of exactly how you eat a rainbow plate and support your body through that process, as well as understanding how to release and to reset yourself naturally, because it's possible. It gives you recipes. It gives you plenty of recipes because it's technically a cookbook, but it's literally your guide into eating away diabetes. And then it gives you a bonus section full of lots of goodies that I'm not going to specifically say, but it has a lot of goodies in that bonus section. The book is about 99 pages. I want to say, I think it's at 99 pages. If it's not 99, it's over 100. And then when you get the book, for the people that grab the book, by the end of this month, you get a special bonus. The bonus is that you also get a guided grocery list. With that is a special bonus, because like I said, I want you to be able to fully be able to master healing with anything that you get from me, whether it's just you buying an ebook, you getting a one-on-one with me, or you getting in the full program. You will be able to get started and to be helped further along if you're in the program, and you'll be able to, if you're in the program, you'll be able to be living a plant-based lifestyle. With the products and services that I give you, I help you be able to get started, give you the roadmap to your strategy, and then I let you go. It's kind of like self-study courses, right? Because it's not normal for us to be sitting here dealing with excruciating pain every single month. It's not normal for us to be feeling drained and fatigued. And it's not normal for us to have irregular cycles, infertility issues, low fertility rates overall. So your cycle is literally directly connected to your health. It is your report card of how you've been doing over the month. It is literal your sit back and look and to see how you've been over the month. If it's painful, if it's irregular, if it's extreme, if it's heavy, that's a sign that you have hormonal disruption. So before I get off, I would like to take any questions that you have. I'm going to scroll back up. I don't know if she's still in here. I don't remember your name exactly, but I remember you asked something about, I don't remember. Hold on, I'm going to scroll back up. I can't even remember what the question was. But the foods that you eat have an impact on your hormone balance. So your health when it comes to your cycle, as well as your fertility and et cetera, is either you're helping it by giving your body giving your body the fuel that it needs to heal, or you're fueling the disease. It's a matter of what you're doing and how you choose to consume. So what questions do you guys have for me? Let me see. Let me scroll up to this question. Okay, Michelle. That was your name. Sorry, Michelle, I forgot. Michelle said that she has gone plant-based and she's anemic. Her anemia has gotten worse. So, Michelle, and every other person in here that is also dealing with any type of anemia, iron deficiency, etc., we have to think about the fact that, first of all, because if you are dealing with being anemic, that means that you have low iron. So when you have low iron, this is, first of all, you're signing your body to let you know that, excuse me, that water. You have to think about the fact that when you are sitting there dealing with iron deficiency, you are not getting enough iron in the foods that you eat. So when you are not getting iron in your food, and I don't know if you're supplementing, but let's say that you are supplementing, I'm not saying directly you, but when you supplement, the iron that you supplement cannot be absorbed. So I know a lot of people that go plant-based, that go vegan, and they think that, oh, I'm just going to take a supplement for B12 or iron or whatever else because I'm not going to get it in foods, right? Because they tell you can't get B12, even though it's not true. And so you sit here and you're told and you're taught to take prescriptions, to take vitamins, to take different things to supplement them in, right? This is what we're taught. But iron cannot be absorbed in a pill form the way that they put iron inside of a capsule. That's not the natural iron. That's a chemical made based iron. When you are having issues with iron, this is also a sign of the fact that you're not getting enough oxygen on a cellular level. So this is dangerous. When you look at iron deficiency and you look at how when you are dealing with anemia, for example, you're not getting enough not enough oxygen on a cellular level. So this is going to cause, obviously, your cells are going to slow down. This is going to cause also a number of different issues because your cells are slowing down. So this is leaving you without blood circulating as much as it should be. This is the reason why you're anemic. This is the reason why you're cold. So we have to focus in on, when you want to fix your anemia, is focus in on getting your iron in foods, plant-based foods, because you are plant-based. So we're not eating meat, we're not eating dairy, we're not consuming processed snacks that make us inflammatory, which is great. So now we have to focus in on high iron foods. So like your leafy greens. So spinach. Make sure that you're not eating too much kale, because kale can deplete your iron, especially if you're anemic and you're dealing with an anemia and you're trying to heal that. You shouldn't be focusing on a whole lot of kale. You can eat kale once you deal with that issue, because I eat kale. To this day, I love kale. Kale is amazing. But you have to focus first on healing. And so that's something that can deplete your natural iron. So we want to focus on how do we get it higher first. So you implementing things like more spinach is going to help you be able to get that, as well as the fact that that's a great, leafy green. So that's going to help your digestion, etc., etc. And so it's just a matter of knowing how to use food as your medicine and understanding how to help yourself heal. So I don't know if Michelle is still here, but I hope that helps. And if you have any more questions, please drop them down. But I do hope that helps. You said, what would be the best way to reboot your cycle if it's been months since you've had it? If it's been months since you've had it, the best way for you to, in your words, reboot is for you to learn how to effectively cleanse and to fast. The first thing that I would try to do, if you don't do intermittent fasting, go ahead and try intermittent fasting. If you don't do that, if you do intermittent fasting, let's see how long you can go. That's what I would try to do. Fast strictly water. And then the next thing that I would do, which I do have this in my cleansing and my detoxing guide that shows you how to completely reset and to release. It's linked in my bio. But this is what I'm going to give you right here. Since you're right here and asking me this question, try to use food, fruits and vegetables. Do a cleanse. Like, don't make any plant-based meals that you cook. Do strictly raw fruits and vegetables. Do this for at least 3 days. Try to go for 5 to 7. This is going to be the way that your body's going to reset itself. Try to eat as many blueberries as possible, pomegranates, red-based fruits, red-based vegetables, root vegetables. They're going to be gross. Obviously, we know what root vegetables taste like. Beet juice is disgusting. But if you can do something like, okay, I'm going to take it as a shot kind of thing, drink it down real quick, wash it down with some fresh, homemade squeezed apple juice, lemon juice, whatever can get you through it. This is only, as I said, it's only for a short amount of time that you have to eat this way, but this should help you induce your cycle, if that makes sense. It should promote your cycle to get itself back on. And if it doesn't within those 5 to 7 days, I would try to go longer. I know it's going to suck, but that's the way that you get your body back on a reset. That's what I teach you in that cleansing and that detoxing guide. I teach you how to do it safely and effectively, because a lot of people have repercussions when they do cleanses. And so I diminish those repercussions. I diminish those like guessing games that you have in that book, because it's a full total guide, which has 6 books and a template guide. So it's 7 in one bundle. But it's to help you be able to understand exactly how to do that in a safe space, because a lot of people are weary. A lot of people have followed diet culture. People have tried cleanses and detoxes, and they talk about how they felt fatigued, they felt terrible during the time, they were hungry, etc., etc. And so during that, I show you exactly what you need to be eating. And I break down and I give you example of what my cleansing like grocery list looks like, what my daily like food schedule looks like, what I eat in a day when I'm cleansing and detoxing to make sure that I'm not hungry, that I'm full. And it makes me through. One time I think I did I think I was on my 7th day, and usually like I do 7 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a cleansing day, I'm gonna have like a release day, and then maybe I'll go back to cleansing. I was like, you know what, I probably could do it like 9 to 10 days, and I was thinking about going longer, but I actually had something that I had promised myself, and I was like, well, I'm gonna take myself out on a date, and so I can't break a promise to myself, especially. So you said I take sea moss gel. I need to eat more leafy foods for sure. Oh, you're so welcome. I don't know really much about sea moss gel because it makes me weary that it can be like, I just don't take sea moss. That's just not something that I'm into, nor I'm like, oh, take this. Like, I do have that in my books to be like, if you take it, it's okay, this is what it helps with, but I'm not the expert on sea moss gel. I'm very weary about it because of how they can mine sea moss on plastic, and then also the ocean and its state and everything, and I hate it. But like, thinking about the ocean and how terrible it is, filled with toxins and chemicals, and how our government just dumps everything in there, as well as our waste literally from the bathroom goes in the ocean, it just makes me weary. It just makes me really weary. But if that is something that you are comfortable with and that you do, it is something that I'm like, yes, it's something that can help. If you get it from a good source, it can help. It can help. I've heard plenty of success stories from taking it. But if you are dealing with any of those issues, and if you have not seen a difference, I don't know how long you've been taking the sea moss, but if you have not seen a difference of improvement in your health with the sea moss, I would question if it's good. Like, and if you haven't tried Shilajit, that is something that I have tried, but I have not been consistent enough to be like, oh, this completely helped with my iron. But Shilajit is something that is a natural supplement that is not in a pill form, but it's in a little, it's basically like a resin. I think it's like a resin. And you take a minuscule amount. It's not terrible tasting. You can like mix it up in some water, and it's mined naturally from, I think, ashes from volcanoes. I think that's what it's made from. Don't get me to lying, but I know for sure it's mined from something natural, of mountains or something, volcanoes or something, and it's black. They have a great one on TikTok. I got it mined from Amazon, but it's the same one here on TikTok. I don't know if there's multiple, so I can't even say, oh, it's just one. But there's a Shilajit girl on here that talks about it all the time. You can go look her up. She's a black girl. She's amazing. I loved watching her content. I still do whenever it comes up, but like, I loved watching her content to learn more about her Shilajit journey. I just I didn't take it consistently enough for me to be like, oh, it made a big difference. It did help when I was taking it for my menstrual cycle during that time though, but I wasn't consistent enough. I was more consistent with chloroform than I was with the Shilajit, just because of having to mix in the resin in this. I forget about it. Is juicing okay? Juicing is amazing if you use a cold pressed juicer. What other questions do you guys have for me? Yeah, I juice. I love apple juice. I love apple juice. Oh, you are so welcome. If you need a one-on-one or you need some more support, the link is in my bio. You can always DM me if you have any questions after I'm off live. What other questions do you guys have for me? Because as I said, I don't know how long you've been taking it. I've heard good and I've heard bad, so it's not like I can say like, oh, don't take it. But if you were questioning or if you're wondering if it's working, I would try something else just to see. Because that's the reason why I tried Shilajit after chloroform, was because I was like, well, chloroform really worked. Let me see how Shilajit is, since it has all these vitamins and minerals and it's not as sketchy as me using sea moss. So I was just like, yeah. I have a juicer, so I'm thinking about starting there. Is it cold pressed? Because if it's not cold pressed, it's not going to give you all the nutrients that a cold pressed juicer would, because of the process that it goes through. But if it's cold pressed, that's exactly what you need. If it's not cold pressed, I would honestly try and think about either selling that one and investing in one, or using a blender, which is going to give you different benefits. But for sure, a non-cold pressed juicer is not going to give you what you need. Like, it's basically just like with drinking a juicy juice without all the chemicals, if that makes sense. Like, it's still going to be highly sugary, stripped of nutrients, but there's no added chemicals. So that's just kind of like how you have to think about it. When you're doing cold press, it's going to still give you that nutrients. It's going to keep the essence of the natural, but it's still... Oh yeah, I'm saying that backwards. But if it's not cold pressed, then it's still going to add in the fact that it's going to be high in sugar and not enough nutrients, if that makes sense. Do you have any warnings on fruits or veggies to choose? No, I do not have any warnings. Use them all, as long as they're organic. That's my warning. My warning is make sure it's organic and use them all. That's my warning. Use them all. Make sure you're getting your greens. Celery juice is great for you to be able to get cellular hydration. It might not taste the best if you're doing celery juice or which I did like cucumber juice. I can't even lie to you. It's a little different drinking a cucumber than eating it, but it's pretty good. I can't even lie to you. I do like cucumbers, so I did not mind a cucumber juice. So just experiment, see what you like. Don't necessarily get into the habit of thinking that this is the only way for you to do it also, because I know that juicing can be taxing. I was a heavy hardcore juicer in the beginning of the first 2 years. You can do smoothies, you can blend. It's amazing for you to make your own like apple sauces, make your sauces, if that makes sense, like apple sauces, grape sauces, like make different things. You don't have to eat the same specific thing or drink the same specific thing if you're trying to go plant-based or you're trying to cleanse. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't make yourself get stuck in a rut. It's possible. What other questions do you guys have for me? And if you are looking for inspiration, like I said, for cleansing or detoxing, I do have the cleansing code is linked in my bio. I also have a beginner guide cookbook that's supporting people of making plant-based meals, and I have an eating away diabetes cookbook. I have plenty of products and services to support you. If you have any questions about the program, or if you book a one-on-one and then you want to know more about the program and you decide, you know what, I do want to get into the program, that one-on-one price will be applied to the program. So you will get that price difference knocked off of, if you're paying for that one-on-one will be knocked off of your program price, and you'll just pay the difference. You can get everything in my link in my bio with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay. There is no excuse, because like I say this all the time. People pay for clothes. They put Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay for clothes. They now have it for groceries. People pay for all this junk. You pay for what you want. If you want to be healthy and you want to learn how to heal, you want the strategy that I give you outside of all the free content that I give you, because I give you plenty of free content for you to get started. If you want direct one-on-one access, support, and what I've done and how I've done it, you will grab what I have in my bio. Because I support you. Like, if I support you this much for free, can you only imagine what a paid support looks like? If I'm doing this much, sitting here online, just chit-chatting, which I don't mind. I enjoy it, don't get me wrong. But if I do this much, can you only imagine how life-changing a paid product or service or program is? Because I want change. Like, that's why I said the Most High gave me all this information. There is no reason for me to sit here with this information just to be like, let me twiddle my thumbs and not say anything to anybody, because I have the golden secret that I can't tell anybody. I've been shouting it. I've been shouting it for years. I've been shouting it. This is a way for you to be able to help yourself heal. Do you want to heal? Are you ready to take the next steps? Because if you are, you ready to reverse things? Because if you are, your body heals naturally. It's just a matter of how you do it. So what other questions do you guys have for me? I really appreciate the 7.3K likes. Thank you guys. Y'all been tapping up the screen. Y'all really have been helping this live get pushed out today. I hope to see, let's see, I was say I can check my email right now. I was about to say I hope to see y'all booking y'all's one-on-ones, booking y'all's things. Okay. So I have that in my calendar. Let me add that in my calendar. I really do appreciate y'all. Oh, I got my little Stripe notification. There we go. Oh, you were so welcome. It's been about a week. I don't know if you have my notifications on, but if you don't have my notifications, I don't think you can get direct notifications from this app. I don't know exactly how it works, but if you're on my email list, you know every single time I go live, because I send out an email. But it's been about a week since I've been on. Actually, last week, I decided to take that as a break time during my cycle. I said, you know what, we're going to take a little vacation. And I took my time and let myself rest. And now I'm back and I'm feeling good. I had to do my hair, so I knew that I needed to rest, because I knew I needed to do my hair. My hair is a process. So what other questions do you guys have for me before I hop off? If you have any, if you don't, or if you have any questions that you don't want to ask in front of others and it's a personal question, you can always DM me. My DMs are open. I have people DM me all the time, letting me know about their personal situations that I don't share. Obviously, I don't share on here, because that's why I said I share the ones that are public, that are okay. I don't share any of the ones that people are coming to me and they really need help. I'm not going to expose anybody. I definitely never share names. I'll read your name in a comment, but I'm not going to share names of what people are going through. But I have plenty of people that come to me talking about different issues that they're having going on with infertility issues, inflammation, etc. And it's okay to not, it's okay to not realize how to support your body and then become aware of this realization of, oh, I haven't been doing it all my life. So it's a matter of the fact that we have to change, and we have to make that change for ourselves. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can force you. You have to want it for yourself. So, what other questions do you guys have? If you have any. If you don't, I am going to hop off. I don't know if I'm hungry. I'm kind of like feeling like I might not be hungry. Like I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, oh, I might not be hungry. I could just go get some like blueberries or something if I get hungry, but I don't know. I think I have some grapes too. I don't know. Or I might just eat an early dinner, honestly, because it's like I haven't eaten. I might eat it like an early dinner around like 4 or 5 and just call it. That's kind of been my mood lately. I'm just like, let me just eat an early dinner. I might eat a snack later, but besides that, like, I'm getting back into like my summer mood, because that's how I am all summer. Like I feel like the heat makes me not want to eat. Like so like all summer I'll just like eat one meal and then I'm like, okay, let me get a little snack or whatever, because you know it's hot. I don't know how other people are, but I know once I get hot, like I get irritated. I don't want to do all that. Once I get past like wintertime, that whole like winter depression is like me eating more meals than I normally do. Like I'm like, I usually don't eat like, past 2 meals if I eat 2 meals a day. Wintertime, I feel like I'm always eating 2 meals, maybe 3, like, and then it gets around hot again, and I'm like, okay, the sun's out. I'm not really hungry. I don't know. It's weird. But I recognize that about myself, because you know why? I do mental inventories. And if y'all did not check out the video that I posted today, check out the video that I posted. They're pinned. If you have not seen my transformation video, go check that out as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I am going to hop off. I don't see any more questions. Get on my Wellness Wednesday email. Every single Wednesday, I send out a wellness email. So if you didn't get on it today, I try to send it out early so you have something, like a little AM motivation when you wake up, but sometimes they get sent out as late as like 2. But if you haven't joined today, it's already went out for sure. So you'll get the one for next week. So go join that. The link is in my bio. You'll know every single time I go live. You'll also know if they take this app away from us, where we will be, and all that little good stuff. So I hope you have a great, amazing rest of your day. Be safe. Enjoy. And I'm out, y'all.